Hi, I'm Garmbreak1, and this is Midgardia's Cool Crowdfunding Show. I'm here today with Steve Pankatai. How's it going?
It's going pretty well. Thanks for having me here.
Glad to have you. Uh, why don't you tell us a little bit about Supers and Sorcery?
Okay, Supers and Sorcery is super cool. and, that's intentional pun, but also very true. It's a 5e compatible setting where you get to play D&D as a superhero. It's fantasy meets superhero all mushed together into one awesome, cool place.
Nice. It's a very good high-level overview. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about the setting? How have superpowers impacted this fantasy world?
So we went multiversal with it. We created a world, and that world had people in it. It had all sorts of cool things, and it was devastated. The evil forces rose, and the good forces fought back, and the cataclysmic battle between them decimated the world. And for hundreds of years, it slowly healed and regrew. And for some reason, uh, multiversal portals opened into this world, and where those portals opened, a city formed. So over more and more centuries, people from across the multiverse made a home in this city, and they called it Beacon, named after the only remnant that was left behind on this world, a massive glowing beacon that's full of ancient secrets and forbidden knowledge. And uh, everything in this world is infused with that like touch of super. So there's cosmic rays that bombard the world every 20 years that give people all sorts of crazy abilities, combined with the fact that people can come from anywhere, creates this very super heroic, very big scale city where the whole world outside it is like just terrible. it's There's giant monsters, there's horrible plants, there's uh, uh, everything wants to destroy you outside of this city. It has every fantasy and superhero trope that we could think of to put in.
Yeah, so you got your like elves and orcs and goblins and all that, but you've also got like weird aliens kicking around, the occasional cyborg, all that kind of
Yes,
nice.
absolutely.
I'm digging it. I'm digging it. So, what makes superpowers functionally different from good old fantasy magic?
Well, the depending on who you ask, the good thing about D&D 5e is that you're kind of playing a superhero already. You're kind of like person plus. You're definitely above a regular person in most instances of playing D&D, so it lends itself well to it. And a lot of what we've done is just allow the narrative to lean into that more. But we have introduced a couple optional rules that you can use to really up that super level to really become super powerful. But a lot of it is based on just that core 5e experience of being incredible already.
Yeah, as a completely normal human being, I cannot, in fact, get punched in the face 20 times and carry on
Right.
just fine, or
Exactly.
sit down for an hour and fix my broken leg.
Right.
I wish, but So, can you tell me a little bit about the giant monsters, the kaiju?
Everybody loves the kaiju. Yes.
I've actually got the
Uh,
right shirt for that today.
yes. Excellent. We all are big fans of kaiju, and there's a couple members of our team who have definitely just have a deep love for that whole genre, and it's a very superhero thing to do to just fly out over the ocean and pummel a giant monster. And it's it was too fun to not do, and I'm really glad that I believe we've hit the stretch goal to add kaiju. Oh no, there's more kaiju coming soon on our stretch goals. uh, but we from the beginning we put some seeds throughout this whole world of um, just incredibly strong forces. We definitely wanted there to be like epic tier challenges where you're a level 20 super heroic. If you're Superman, what threatens you? So we wanted that epic tier challenge. So we've seeded a couple throughout the world in the lore, things that are mostly hinted at by the common folk. Uh, but just right now, we today crossed the stretch goal for an epic tier adventure to be included in the book, which I began writing today, which may have a sea kaiju included in it. So that's very exciting. I spent my morning working on that today.
Excellent. And I know you're not the mechanics guy, but do they have special mechanics? Like, do they have, the arm has hit points or something?
Most of them, at this point, we have not created stats for them because we we have not hit that stretch goal yet. It's looking likely that we will. At which point, I'm very excited to see what we come up with. The one that I'm working on, I'll be working on the stats for it very soon, and there is going to be. I believe, at least for mine, some versions of legendary actions and mythic actions to really give it that. Like, if you're fighting this thing, it's going to be a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. That's excellent. I really hope you hit the Kaiju Cults and more Kaiju one.
So do I. We're getting pretty close. We're a little over $1,000 away from that, so we're getting very close. Hopefully, in the next 26 days we have left on there. Hopefully, we can get another $1,000.
Well, hopefully the interview will help with that.
I hope so. Hello, everyone watching this. Go check out this Kickstarter.
Links below. Please watch the rest of the video first. I need that watch time. Um, sorry, I keep thinking about the Kaiju fanboys from Pacific Rim. The one dude with like the tattoos of all of them up his arm.
Yep.
Everyone's just like, oh, that's you only kill a bunch of people, right?
Yeah. Well, that's how I feel about some of my teammates. I do enjoy the super challenge that the kaiju presents, so I actually am very excited to see where we can go with them.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. So I see that you've hit a stretch goal for an original class. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I actually was just looking at this yesterday. We only just started work on it because it's a stretch goal. We only just unlocked it. So it's not final yet. It's still in the process of being bounced around the team a little bit. But what I saw sounded very cool. It leans a lot into the lore of the world. It leans into they're called arc waves, or these cosmic energies that give people energy, give people superpowers. So it leans into arc waves and the narrative of the world a lot, and it's in its current state. It's a fairly powerful, almost. Uh, I see it as a strong support slash utility class, where the artificer is kind of a utility slash attack class. This one's kind of a utility slash support class. And it's in its in its current state, it's fairly powerful. Where I'm not sure exactly where our balance testing will land it, because we're just on kind of this version 1 right now. But it is fairly cool. I think it has a lot of utility powers and a lot of, like the artificer, there's a lot of different ways that you can use its abilities in order to do all sorts of cool things. I'm actually very excited by it.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Mhm.
Can you tell us a little bit about the original races of this world?
Those are very much still a work in progress.
I know I'm
I
hitting all the hard questions.
you are. Let me see. I do have. I've got some of my notes up here, so let me see. I'm not even sure any of that has been formally written. I believe a lot of that is still in the ideation phase, but we're tearing through the writing very quickly. Currently, I don't know that I have any of that firmly written. We have a bunch of ideas on the original races. Uh,
All
and
right.
as it's a multiversal hub world, there's a lot of ways you can go with it, and it all fits neatly into the lore. So I'm not actually sure where that's going to land, but
All
it
right.
is. The ideas that I've seen bounced around our Discord server are very cool.
Yeah, nothing firm yet. Keep an eye on the updates then.
Yeah,
All right. That is completely legit. Also, the art is wonderful. I just want to mention.
I agree. Absolutely.
I love.
The art has been my favorite part. And actually, we have been bringing on over the last couple of days several more artists who are going to help fulfill some of our stretch goal arts. And who, like, they haven't even made anything for us yet, but I've looked through like their portfolios, and like some of these artists are incredible. So I'm very excited for everyone to see what the art's going to look like in this thing.
Yeah, there are some incredibly skilled people out there.
Yes, very much agree.
I,
Mhm.
I love the pink tiefling with the violin. That's sick.
She's my favorite too. She was created by Sadie, who's one of the writers and editors on our team. We each created at least one of the Portaliers, the sort of Justice League main hero team here, and we all created some of them. And she was one of my favorites. Her name is I believe it's Andante. She uses sound wave powers, which is one of the original subclasses that will be included in the book, is sound wave powers.
Cool. So yeah, that's a nice segue. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the subclasses?
The subclasses are super cool. The subclasses so far, they also are still works in progress, but the subclasses so far are very cool. We've got a handful done. We're trying to have one for each of the core classes that's included in the SRD for D&D. So we have sound waves, which is for bards to be able to violently use the sounds of your instruments or your voice to your advantage. We also have let's see, we've got several we've got several that are still works in progress. We have a barbarian who specializes in growing large when they rage. In a not very subtle reference to several very large heroes. The one that I'm really excited about is we just had our sensitivity reader turn back in the Way of the Steel Strike monk, which is a monk tradition that focuses on prosthetics. So we worked to bring a lot of diversity and representation into the book and the world. And one of the ways we did that is with the Way of the Steel Strike, where you have a magically enhanced prosthetic that is magically bonded to you that can do all sorts of cool things. And but it is still a device. It has to be maintained and repaired. But if you treat it well and it treats you well, you can do all sorts of rather impressive things with it. It's a really cool monk tradition, I think.
Yeah, very much plays into the style of the setting and merging fantasy and superhero tropes together.
Mhm.
That's cool. I dig it.
Mhm.
It's a nice little microcosm of yeah. Also, is the one holding the like two weird sword spear things a kobold? That's an
Yes, it
excellent
is.
kobold. That is
Yeah,
a top tier kobold right there.
thank you. I'm actually the one who came up with him. He is a barbarian warlord from the Null Wastes outside of the city of Beacon.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, he has a cool obsidian crown and is a weapons master.
Oh yeah, I can see the crown. I thought it was frills at first, but like, nope, that's an obsidian crown. That's wicked.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have
he's
yeah, I have a soft spot for kobolds. I think most people do.
yeah. It was definitely I had the luxury of designing two of those Portalier heroes, and I was like, one of them is a kobold, Absolutely. As long as we're going, all the races are equal. The race as a function in D&D is gone. That's ridiculous. We can do whatever we want. So one of them's a kobold, and he's really cool.
So, do you guys have alternate rules for the like racial ability stuff then, or like a recommended supplement or something like that?
Um, we don't. I don't believe we codified anything into it in a mechanical sense. We definitely de-emphasize the pairing of like race with mechanics because that's gone, that's over, that's silly. Uh, we do have the co-lead of the project, Adam, just released on the Dungeon Masters Guild. An elf and an orc had a little baby, which is a supplement of alternate rules for ancestry and upbringing that I definitely recommend. It's very good. And we do have several uh, uh, friends who have built some rather impressive alternate ancestry things that I'm happy to recommend. But as for the official book, I think we just narratively say, look, we don't need to do this. If you want to check out these other things, please do. But I don't think we mechanically built it into the book at this point.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Um, so how did this project come about? Like, what made you guys go? You know, it'd be sick. Superman punching a dragon in the face.
It was pretty much that.
Oh, all right.
Most of us are on a Discord server where we kind of talk about our Dungeon Masters Guild projects or our drive-through RPG projects. And someone just started talking about superheroes. We just had a conversation about superheroes one day. And I think the conversation just kind of naturally turned to, oh, how could you do superheroes in D&D? And I give credit to Adam, the co-lead of the project, for actually making it a thing. We kind of bounced into a side Discord with a handful of us, and then we just next thing I knew, Adam had drawn up some timelines, and there was like division of labor, and it was like, oh, this is all of a sudden this is a real project. How exciting! We brought in a bunch of our very impressive friends and collaborators to come round it out, and all of a sudden we had a really awesome team.
Excellent. I'm yeah, a lot of the best projects happen that way. Somebody's just
Yeah.
kind of ranting and everybody else is like, "No, wait, no, we can actually do that."
Mhm. Yeah, it's been a very strong collaboration. Everyone on the team loves superheroes, loves both genres and mediums, and honestly, the talent on the team. Obviously, like you've seen the art, incredible, absolutely phenomenal, and some of the writing talent, like top bestsellers on the Dungeon Masters Guild and Drive Through RPG. Like really phenomenal people to work with, and everyone's been very um, like no one's precious with their ideas. Everyone's very collaborative and bouncing things around, and we're just always in the Discord. What if we did this? Oh, what about this? And just like get each other hyped up and like posting images from comic books, and oh, we could go in this direction. Or what if they looked kind of like this? Or it's been very fun to just work with everybody.
Excellent. So, what's your favorite comic book, superhero or otherwise?
Actually, these back here are my comics.
Oh,
All these
oh, I
boxes
see.
here. So I have quite a few. I've been reading for many years. I think I'm a Batman guy. I say wearing a Superman shirt, but I'm a Batman guy. I'm a DC Comics guy. But I've been known to dabble in some Spider-Man and some X-Men. But I read most of the DC comics.
Oh yeah. I used to have a lot of comic books. I sold them when I moved. I made like 400 Canadian dollars if you need a gauge of how many I sold. Um, yeah. I'm a Starman guy. He's my number one superhero of all time.
Nice, yeah. Star. Which version of Starman?
The is it James Robinson? Yeah,
That's my
yeah,
favorite. Yeah,
yeah.
classic character. Very impressive.
It's it's an incredible comic in so many ways, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Yeah, he did a heck of a lot with that character, making
Yeah,
him uh,
and tying
amazing.
in every other character who's ever used the name, it was a wild time.
Yeah, they're doing interesting things with him. Well, with all the Starmen, and well, they just finished up in Scott Snyder's Justice League run. Had some
Oh
really great
shoot,
Starman moments.
I might have to look that up.
Mhm.
Given the late unpleasantness, I haven't been to a comic shop in a while,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, it's rough out there.
yeah.
So, what's your favorite part of this setting?
The setting has a lot of very cool things. The city of Beacon itself is divided into tiers. It's a city built semi-vertically, where each tier kind of loosely represents an era of comic books. Where like Low City is like that grim, dark '90s pouches, like dark, gritty heroes, all the way going up the city, you get like that sort of Silver Age, like gleaming, shining Art Deco Hall of Justice look. And there's a lot of little things through the city that I really like, but my favorite part is actually outside the city. There's a section of the world known as the Ivory Wilds, where it takes its name from the white choker vine that permeates the area. That is white when it doesn't need to photosynthesize, and it doesn't need to do that because it just ate meat. So it's an exceptionally deadly carnivorous jungle where the only safe places to go are the places where something else just died. And at the very heart of it, there are rumors of a slithering mountain that no one has yet been able to make it to. So,
Oh, that's wicked.
yes, I am a personal fan of that, but there is a lot to love in this entire world.
Yeah. So I take it the wastelands have a wide variety of kind of biomes. You've got that. You've probably got some kind of like Mad Maxian, you know,
I
desert
do.
with weird
I like,
mechanical devices. Yeah,
yeah,
sick.
that's the immediate areas. We represented several biospheres that can all plausibly be close enough together with a little bit of magic thrown in. So there's the actual city of Beacon itself, which sits on a bay, and it's surrounded by the Protectorate Peaks, a mountain range that more or less isolates it from the more dangerous parts of the world. Um, but outside of that, you have the Darnan Forest, which has some settlements in it. People live there, and that's where most of the wood for the city comes from. But going beyond that, you've got mountain ranges, classic fantasy mountains and forests terrains. But you also have to the north, you have the Null Wastes, where magical destruction has laid bare the earth, and only barbarians on the very fringes of society make their living out there. And you also have the Ivory Wilds, which I spoke about, and there's the Mirrored Wetlands to the south, which is very much a like Slaughter Swamp Thing, Solomon Grundy, like dark, spooky swampland to be able to have your horror comic stories in and from. So we really focused on building like those main fantasy and main comic book tropes to be able to go play whatever comic fantasy you want to be able to do.
Oh, that's fantastic. I all of those areas sound like fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun playing with them over the last couple of months. We've I wrote much of what was outside the city, so I had a lot of fun. Just what do I want to play? I want to go punch Solomon Grundy, so I'm gonna I'm gonna go build a cursed swamp where he can come out.
Sometimes you just want to punch Solomon Grundy. It happens to all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Well, I think that about wraps it up. Is there any final words you have for the wonderful folks watching this video?
I just want to say thanks to everyone who supported so far. We are just hitting, I believe, 300 backers so far today, and we are more than 200% funded. It's been a fantastic response. We still have plenty of time left in the Kickstarter for everyone to get in, I'm very thankful for everyone who supported us so far.
Excellent. Well, this has been a ton of fun. Thank you for coming on, and for everybody watching at home, have a good night.
Bye.